delighted you could join us for another edition of Out and About. And today, our programme comes from the beautiful town of Abbeyleix.
On the main road from Dublin to Cork. A mighty thoroughfare this, with cars and trucks and double Arctics going by all the time. Thelma will be telling us about the horse show. Ingrid will be telling us about the De Vesey estate and domain and their lovely house. And I'll be in a notable establishment known as Morrisseys. Recently here in Abbeyleix, the Abbeyleix Parish Employment Committee set up a teamwork scheme, and Ingrid is now talking to Carmel Casserly about that.
Carmel Casserly, you're the present supervisor of this teamwork scheme. How did this particular scheme get into operation?
Well, in fact, this is our third teamwork scheme, Ingrid, and we've also had a social employment scheme. The teamwork schemes are for those that are under 25, the social employment for the people over 25. And all of the schemes have been brought to us by the Parish Employment Committee. They lobbied the government and got the necessary grants.
How many people are taking part in this particular teamwork scheme?
We originally had 12 participants and 2 supervisors. That number is now down to 8.
What sort of work are they doing on the scheme?
All sorts. We assist in the Sue Rider shop, we assist in the social service centre, the daycare centre, we visit the elderly. Sometimes only just for a social visit. Very often we do minor decorating, painting work.
I believe you also have a typing scheme and babysitting.
That's right, yeah. Well, the babysitting is the idea is that it will be used for parents under stress. We hear all the time about people feeling under stress, and we offer that for them. And then the typing is availed of by certain, maybe young people that want a CV typed up, or an elderly person wants a letter typed, prayers typed. The various clubs and organisations in the town, maybe they want something of that order. I mean, it's not abused, that particular service.
So the committee is monitoring those activities very carefully?
All the time, yes. Particularly the babysitting. I know people will say, well, that's certainly open to abuse, but it isn't. We confine that to a maximum of 3 hours per couple per month.
How would you like to see the scheme developing?
Well, for instance, the new SES scheme that we've applied for, 3 of those will be assigned to a Tidy Towns Committee, which has only just been established in the town. On the old SES scheme, we had 17 employees, and they worked in both the RC Church and the Church of Ireland, and they worked in the park. In fact, I can safely say that every club or organisation in the town availed of their services at some stage. And like, if we get another one, they will all avail of them again. I mean, it's an ongoing thing.
So it's a scheme that is actually putting a lot back into Abbeyleix.
Both the teamwork and the SES have done that, definitely.
One of the little-known facts about Abbeyleix is that the carpets for the Titanic were actually made here. One of the well-known facts is that it's a great centre for angling, with the Nore and its tributaries all close at hand. Abbeyleix too is renowned for its superbly tree-lined streets and its magnificently maintained old shop fronts, and perhaps one of the most famous of them all is Morrisseys. Well, let's join Liam now, who's doing a little research inside.
Well, Paddy Mulhall, now the proprietor of this lovely old establishment here in the middle of Abbeyleix. There was a time when you weren't the owner of this place, Paddy.
No, there wasn't. My cousins were here for years and generations before me. Morrisseys originally started, and they got a portion of land from the Vesey, Lord of Vesey, in about around 1780 or something, around that figure, and built a house in it. They continued on. I came here in 1934 to serve my time, and I'm here since.
What was your wages, Paddy?
My wages at 4 shillings a week. For the first 4 shillings a week for the first year, 5 for the second, and 6 for the third.
You're making more than 4 shillings a week now, Paddy.
Well, I wouldn't say I am, but I'm happy to be here anyway.
Somebody told me that you were the Lord Mayor of Abbeyleix.
God, no, there's no such thing as the Lord Mayor of Abbeyleix, no.
What about it though, Paddy? You have this lovely shop here, really. It's admired by everyone. And you've kept some of the lovely old things in it. Why did you do it, Paddy?
Well, I think to the people before me, they didn't want to change it. Didn't like to change it, like to keep it the old style, still like it to keep it the old style.
Yeah.
And it seems it's coming into its own now. Years ago, everybody went for the lounge bars and places like that, but nowadays this is the old style and they can't get them. They all come back to have a look at it.
Do you admire it yourself sometimes?
I do, yes. I'm very fond of it.
Some of the old pictures and...
Yeah, I'm very fond of it, I mean. And I'm very particular putting things back where they were 40 years ago. If a brush is left out of the way, I want to put it back the way the old people left it back.
What about the endorsing there, Paddy, the white coat? That's an old vintner's tradition, isn't it?
Well, that was a tradition when we came here. Everybody, when they served that time here, you were inspected in the morning when you're coming in at 8 o'clock in the morning or 8:30 to work the shop. If you hadn't your collar and tie on, or you're shaved, or your shoes polished and a white coat spotless, you had to go back and put a new one on and look the thing.
There was great discipline in the trade, Paddy.
Oh, there was, yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic discipline.
And I noticed I noticed some of the old pictures around the place there. They're going back to the 1860s and 1870s and photographs of people and that kind of thing.
Some of the picture up there now about Schweppes, I think that's on the wall hanging up there since surely 60 or 70 years. It was never touched. I'm here since 34, that's when they overwhelmed 52 years ago, or 53, going on 53 now. And that picture was there when I came here. And I'm sure it was there for a good year before that.
Yeah.
And the stove in the shop there is nearly 120 years old. It's just this great idea of central heating the whole place, you know.
And it's coming into his own. I mean, I know this. The young people come in here, they love the place. Not alone the lovely front, but the interior of the place is greatly admired.
Yeah, we get a lot of passing traffic and all the locals come in.
Do you drink yourself, Paddy?
No, I drink lemonade. Good, honest to God lemonade.
I'm not... What's wrong now? Come on now, Paddy. I mean, look at here now. You're an auctioneer. You're the owner of Morrisseys. You're a great tourist expert. You're something to do with one of the insurance companies. And I'm told that along with everything else, you're an undertaker. You must be a fairly comfortable man now, Paddy.
Just imagine that. But the bank man is across the road. He'll tell you all about that, you know.
And did you never think now, Paddy, in your time that, like, a woman would be a great help to you?
Well, able to get on without one, mind you.
God, it's not known. It's not.
I had an argument last night about that, and I don't want it to dwell.
And but come on now, Paddy. After all, as you well know, a good woman looking after this place along with you would be a power now to you, a power.
Well,
strength.
I went to Lisbon Varna since 1939 every year. I never missed a year since that. And even Jim White and Miss O'Dwyer in Lisbon Varna, and Dick Lynch and the wife put me into his computer. Tried to get a wife, and she never came out.
You're going out since 1939?
39, I never missed a year since 39.
What the hell were you looking for out there?
Well, sure.
God, you must be terrible hard to please,
For the
Paddy.
fun and the crack.
Is that what you're going? Well, you don't even drink, Paddy.
No, we enjoy it just the same.
What would you be looking for in a woman, Paddy, if you were looking for a woman?
I wouldn't know.
You would not have. You would not have. No,
no experience in that line at all.
If you've got a good, nice, handsome, rich, young woman now there, that would be a great...
What good would I'd want to get one about 22 at my age.
Yeah.
That's pushing 70 years of age, I mean.
You got Paddy, I'd say it's pretty lively yet. My view anyway about that, and I don't know. I mean, I never heard of anybody going to this Dunvarna for the guts of 50 years without looking for a woman. Now, that's how...
Well, I was great for the hunting and not bad for the kill.
Anyway, Paddy...
Lads down there prefer the hunting to the kill, you know?
I know, yeah. Well, of course, together they'd be nicer, Paddy.
Oh, much.
Both together. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Paddy, this beautiful place here is there's no doubt about it, it's a gem. And everybody who comes into it admires it. What's your best wish for it, Paddy, now?
That'll continue on the way it is. Years ago when I came here, there was about 14 or 15 people working. It was a bakery, there was a carpenter, and then there was used to bake barn blacks in all those days, you know. And then Abbeyleix was kind of, the pig fair days were the biggest thing in Abbeyleix years ago. The bunnies would be down one side of the street and the fat pigs up on the other. And the pigs would be coming in the morning, the farmers would come in with their buns, they'd have the cars outside the door at 7 o'clock to get a good stand outside here. And where they sell the buns, you know. That'd go on till about 6 o'clock in the evening. And in those days, going back about surely over 50 years ago, the parish priest insisted in those days that all the public houses would close down at 6 o'clock in the evening. Because let the farmers go home, you see. There was no such thing as a farmer going into a hotel to have a meal or anything. They'd never bring a sandwich. They'd leave home probably in the morning at 6 o'clock. And they wouldn't have a bit to eat till after 6 in the evening.
Yes, I know.
So they'd be messing and drinking and...
Yes, maybe not a bit of a row now and again.
Well, we won't go into that, but there would be an odd one. They'd have to end up that way, sure.
A good, prosperous place, Paddy, there's no doubt about it, and you yourself have made a wonderful impact on it. So anyway, Paddy, so here's Sláinte. Agus Fadsail, ag Paddy Mulhall of Morrisseys of Abbeyleix.
Got a bag.
One of the high spots of the summer here in Abbeyleix is the annual 2-day horse show, which in fact takes place in a fortnight's time, Saturday fortnight. And I'm going to have a word now with the chairman of the horse show, Paddy O'Hanlon. How are you, Paddy?
How are you, Thelma? Delighted to meet you.
You're working hard, very busy at the moment, getting ready for this year's horse show.
Yes. This year we have 2 days. Normally we were on a 1-day show here for the last 4 years. This year, May 30th and 31st. Show jumping on Saturday and all the showing classes and the side shows on Sunday.
Well, horse shows generally around the country have been dwindling in popularity. How come yours is so successful?
Yes, I suppose really when you mean to say horse shows, agricultural shows, the old shows. Briefly, we were an agricultural show here for years, 34 or 5 years, and with expenses of running, lack of support for the old cattle classes and produce classes, turnips, vegetables, the ladies with their cakes, that more or less dwindled away. We held on to the horse section, and certainly, you see, farmers still will bring their horses out on the day to have them seen and to maybe try and win their prizes and maybe make a sale. We have commercialism as well here, small little bit of that. We have fun, commercialism side by side. And I think we're putting a little bit of a window on display for that.
Right, well now you did mention that it's not just horses. There are several other elements to the show. So give us a sort of a flavour of the fringe
the
events.
animals, show jumping, that explains itself. We have showing classes of horses, that explains itself. But then, dogs, cats, parrots, budgerigars, the kids bring maybe the most unusual pet. The pet most like its owner, etc., etc. Now we have Best Dressed Lady, which I might add, you should come down to us that day. We might take a few pounds home for yourself. The Best Dressed Lady is sponsored by our fashion stores in town here. We have farm efficiency trials this year, Muckra na Ferma. That is big. Now that is quite big. Young farmers, sons and daughters in the area come in and it's levity, but also it's a form of what we call examination and efficiency as an explanatory itself. They build fences, they reverse tractors, and various things which they do normally on the farm. That is another event that day. And
but now, of course, the biggest thing of all, the horses. And I just want to have a quick word with John Bland, the PRO for the show. John, I believe big names on their way this year to your horse show.
On Sunday, this last week, we went to the spring show and sounded out all of them, and with very good response. Always is the trouble, are they abroad or are they in the country? by putting together the 3 shows on consecutive days, that is Abbeyleix, Holy Cross and Kill, Kerrygold have a leading rider award, and that is aimed to keep the riders in the country rather than abroad. And with that response, we hope to have Eddie Macklin, Paul Dara, Con Power has supported us always, the Irish Killet under John Hall, the Army have supported us every year, and we've had great support from Jack and Edward Doyle. Every big name have supported Abbeyleix. Why, I don't know, but they come. I think it must be the Cade Míle Fáilte.
Oh, that's marvellous altogether. And of course there will be qualifying championships.
Yes, nearly every competition is a qualifier for either the RDS Horse Show in Dublin or for Mill Street in Cork. The Boomerang Finder is a big attraction, and we get up to 100 entries for that. And there's qualifiers for every single jumping class.
Mm-hmm. So one other thing too that will be involved in the show will be the Irish Draft Horse. And beside you, we have the chairman of the Laois branch of the Irish Draft Horse Association and a member of the National Committee, Timmy Sullivan. How are you, Timmy?
Very nice.
So we will see some draft horses here.
Oh yes, we'll have the Kerrygold qualifier in Abbeyleix, which we hope will outstrip last year. We had quite a big entry last year, so we're hoping this year that it will be even greater this year. So because if it weren't for the Kerrygold, we wouldn't have any drafts. The Kerrygold Championship has helped the Irish draft to rejuvenate, and we hope that we'll have much more of the drafts around the country. This Kerrygold qualifier is a fantastic help to us, and we'll have our own.
So the draft horse is not a dying breed. It's very much alive.
Very much alive. It's very vibrant over the last 5 or 6 years, and as you know yourself, she's the foundation mare of some of the famous show jumpers the world over. So this is why she's so much sought after, and we are, as a preservation society, hoping to have something to pass on to the next generation.
So it sounds like there's going to be something for all the family here at the Abbeyleix Horse Show, and I wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you
very nice. Thank you
very much. We hope the weather stays fine for the horse show, and also, by the way, for Maura Shanahan's Fish Abbeyleix, which is happening both events at the same weekend. Undoubtedly one of the great names around this part of the country is De Vesey, and Ingrid is now at the De Vesey estate to tell us about the house and the domain.
Abbeyleix is one of the traditional landlord towns, built originally on the lands of the De Vesey family. Their present family seat, Abbeyleix House, was built in 1773 by Sir William Chambers and James Wyatt for the first Viscount De Vesey. The house has undergone a number of changes since then, with the addition of a new wing and terraces in the early 19th century. The actual house is private, but that doesn't stop us enjoying the beauties of the estate, which is open to the public from time to time. It boasts a number of fascinating features, including the tomb of Malachy O'More of the Gaelic clan, the oldest oak tree in Ireland, one of the first commercial forests in the country, and the 13th century Monk's Bridge, fording the River Nore, which runs through the domain.
the lovely and elegant house of the Devesses here in Morrisseys, Abbeyleix. But not all of this place is about the past. There's a very active and thriving life going on there right now. There's a pheasantry where they, of course, breed pheasants. There's a very productive sawmills, and the latest addition is indeed a stud farm, which I understand is doing terribly well. Not perhaps quite so far into the distant past as the Devessi connection is the Ballyroan Brass Band. And with me here is John Bonham to tell me about them. Well, John, when did the Ballyroan Brass Band begin its life?
In 1880 it was founded, Liam. And that's what, 107 years ago.
A long history.
Long history.
And a very colourful one.
The band in its time marched with such people as Davitt and Parnell at the Land League meetings in various parts of this county and other counties. And it has, you could say, travel all over Ireland.
It's a proud history for you.
Proud history, yes.
One of the proud moments of your life, I think I'm right in saying, was in the year 1936.
36, yes.
What happened then?
We played Cavan in the All-Ireland football semi-final. We beat Cavan in the All-Ireland football semi-final.
And the band played at that?
The band played in Croke Park.
And then the final?
Oh, well, that's a different story. We lost the final to Mayo.
But you played in the final?
We played in the final. But
well, all right. Not all of the Ballyroan's history is going to be certainly in defeat. And one of the victories is that you continue 107 years later. And I suppose to celebrate that, John, what are you going to play for us?
a tune appropriately called The Villager.
Well, a musical end there to our short but very enjoyable visit to Abbeyleix, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Now, don't forget, if you're around these parts over the bank holiday weekend, why not look in on the horse show and indeed the feis too, because it's bound to be great fun for everybody. Well, next week, we're out and about in Mullingar and Athlone. Please join us then.
And you can see a repeat of Out and About on RTE2 next Saturday at 6:05.